This is a triangular green pottery dish, about 7 by 6 inches. It has a larger dish with a lid and a smaller dish that looks like an ashtray, complete with a little arm. What is this specific type of ashtray for? This is an ashtray designed specifically for pipes or large cigars. The small arm, or rest, is shaped to hold the thick body of a pipe or cigar, which wouldn't fit in a standard cigarette rest. The lidded compartment would be for storing matches, pipe tobacco, or for containing ash and odor. A 3.5-inch piece of curved, heavily rusted metal was found on the ground underneath a 2017 Subaru Outback. The owner is concerned it's an important part that fell off. Can anyone identify it? The internet mechanics are in agreement. This is a piece of the brake rotor shield, also known as a dust shield. It's a thin metal plate that sits behind the brake rotor to protect it from road debris. They are notorious for rusting and breaking off, especially in areas where roads are salted in the winter. It's not a critical failure, but should probably be removed to prevent rattling. These strange glass items consist of 3 parts: a small glass traffic cone, a glass saucer plate it fits into, and a metal retaining clip. The glass is thick and wavy. What are these bizarre contraptions? The most compelling theory is that these are glass fly traps. You would put a sugary bait in the saucer, and the cone would be placed over it. Flies would be attracted to the bait, fly up into the cone, through the hole in the bottom, and then become trapped inside, unable to find their way out. It's a clever, non-toxic, and reusable design from a time before chemical fly sprays. This tool is about 4 inches long and made of what appears to be tool steel. It has the letters and numbers CP86 in reverse on the end. It feels like a cold punch or chisel. What is it used for? This is a metal stamp. It's used to permanently embed the numbers CP86 into a softer material like metal, wood, or leather by striking the back end with a hammer. This could be a model number, an inspection mark, or an owner's identification code. This is a cylinder that appears to be designed to be pressurized. It's 16 inches by 4.25 inches in diameter and was obtained from a pipe fitter. It is painted and weighs about 5 to 8 pounds. What is this tank? The best guess is that this is a homemade accumulator, likely for a boiler system. An accumulator is a type of pressure storage reservoir. In a steam system, it can store steam to handle sudden peaks in demand. The fact that it came from a pipe fitter strongly supports its connection to plumbing or HVAC systems. This unusual glazed ceramic piece has a central well and hollow walls with 2 side openings. It's a beautiful blue-green color, but has a very strange shape. No one who has seen it can imagine what it is for. Any ideas? The best guess is that this is an old ceramic hot water bottle, now missing its stoppers. Before rubber and plastic, hot water bottles were often made from pottery or stoneware. You would fill it with hot water through one of the openings and seal it, and the ceramic would radiate heat for hours. What a fascinating and beautiful piece of everyday history. This 6.5-pound metallic object was found with a metal detector in central Nebraska. It's a heavy, solid piece of iron that seems designed to be attached to something larger. What could it be? The community believes this is a weight from a tractor or other piece of farm equipment. These weights are often bolted to the wheels or frame of a tractor to increase its traction and prevent it from tipping over when pulling heavy loads. Given the location in a major farming state, this theory is very strong. This is a hard, red plastic tube, slightly taller than a standard shot shell. It's very light and has a hole in both sides. What is this object? The leading theory is that this is the plastic hull of a used shotgun shell, but with the metal base, or brass, removed. After a shell is fired, the plastic tube is left. Sometimes the metal part, which contains the primer, can separate or be removed. The hole on the side might be from where the crimp at the top unfolded upon firing. This is a heavy brass object, weighing around 700 grams, with a press-fit wooden insert in the middle. The edge of the insert has a bright orange residue. It was found in a second-hand store in New Zealand. What could it be? The leading theory is that this is a gavel anvil or sound block. A judge, auctioneer, or chairperson would strike their gavel against this block to create a loud, clear sound. Usually, they are made entirely of wood, but this brass version with a wooden striking surface is a fancier design. The orange residue might be from a wood stain or finish. This gray, pottery-like object was found in an area with Civil War bottles in Petersburg, Virginia. It fits in the palm of your hand and is not made of metal. What could this artifact be? Given the historically significant location, the best advice from the community was not to guess, but to contact the Virginia Department of Historic Resources. It could be a piece of Native American pottery, a fragment from the colonial era, or something from the Civil War itself. Only an expert could say for sure, and reporting the find could help archaeologists learn more about the site. This silver-plated object weighs about 12 ounces and is marked on the bottom, Towel EP 4004. It has a distinctive shape with a handle and a spout. What is its purpose? Based on the markings and shape, this is a gravy bowl or gravy boat. Towel is a well-known American silversmith company, and EP stands for electroplate. This would have been part of a formal dining set, used for serving gravy or other sauces at the table. This aluminum pot, found in a junk shop, has two removable bases, one heavy steel and one light aluminum. The bottom doesn't seal, so it can't hold water. What is this strange piece of bakeware? This is a cheesecake pan, also known as a springform pan, though this is a variation on the design. The removable bottom allows you to easily lift the delicate cheesecake out of the pan without having to flip it upside down. The two different bases might be for different types of crusts or baking methods. These are 3 decorative brass plates, each weighing about 10 grams, with etching on them. They were bought at a flea market in Germany. What is their purpose? The most likely answer is that these are simply coasters for drinks. The style of the etching and the material are very typical of decorative household items from the 1970s. While they might look like part of something larger, they are most likely just a set of vintage coasters. This blue electronic device was purchased at a surplus store. When powered on, Nixie tubes light up but don't display anything specific. The writing on the front is in Danish and the circuit board looks handmade. What is this piece of vintage tech? The community suggests this is a function generator, a piece of electronic test equipment used to generate different types of electrical waveforms. The Danish words on the front likely translate to frequency, period, and time, which are all standard controls for such a device. The Nixie tubes would display the precise values of the generated signals. What a cool find. This small, curved, porcelain-like object with a hook was found in an estate sale box. The box itself has an embossed logo on the inside of the lid, but no other context was given. What is this delicate item? This one is tricky, but the community has a plausible theory. It might be a glove hook or a button hook rest. These tools were used to pull gloves on or fasten tiny buttons in the Victorian and Edwardian eras. This object would have sat on a dresser or vanity, providing a decorative place to rest the tool when not in use. Without seeing the logo, it's hard to be certain. This is a 1 by 1 inch green, white, and black plastic brush that weighs almost nothing. The plastic is very light, while the bristles are fairly soft. What is this tiny brush for? This is a golf club brush. Golfers use these small, stiff brushes to clean dirt and grass out of the grooves on the face of their irons and wedges. Keeping the grooves clean is essential for controlling the spin of the ball. It likely fell off someone's golf bag. Someone found this in their bed after waking up. It's about 1/2 centimeter long, yellowish white, and almost rectangular. It feels soft and can be squished. It's definitely not rice. What could it be? While it might sound strange, the overwhelming consensus is that this is a single piece of pre-grated cheese. The kind you buy in a bag often has this specific, slightly rubbery texture and rectangular shape. It probably fell off a late-night snack and ended up in the bed. This object is very old, made of sterling silver with 2 jet stones set into it. One side has a hinged lid, while the other side is an open compartment. What is this unique item? The leading opinion is that this is a handmade jewelry box, possibly from a beginner's metalworking or art class project. The techniques used, setting stones, making a box, and creating a hinge, are all common skills taught in such classes. The slightly imperfect construction suggests it's a student piece rather than a professionally made item. This knitted garment was a gift from a late grandmother. It has two small openings on the shorter sides and a large opening on one of the long sides. Its purpose is a complete mystery. Any ideas? The knitters of Reddit believe this is most likely a baby's diaper cover, also known as a soaker. The large opening would go around the baby's waist, and the smaller openings are for the legs. These were often made of wool, which has natural water-resistant properties. While the fit seems a bit odd, it's the most plausible explanation. This lightweight metallic antique is from the 1800s and is marked Meriden B. Co. It looks like a small, ornate stand with a place for a burner underneath. What is this elegant object? This is a smaller-sized chafing dish, but it's missing its glass insert bowl. A chafing dish is designed to keep food warm at the table using a small candle or alcohol burner underneath. This smaller version would have been used for things like warmed butter, for seafood, or a Welsh rarebit cheese sauce. It's a beautiful piece of antique dining ware. This ornate bronze or brass circular fragment, about 9 centimeters in diameter, was found on a beach in southern Spain. It has a decorative scalloped edge and a raised center. What was it originally a part of? The most likely identification is that this is the base of an old candlestick or a small oil lamp. The weight and ornate design are very typical for such items from the 19th or early 20th century. The central part would have held the candle holder or the fuel reservoir for the lamp. This is a small, solid metal chest, about 5 centimeters long, that is surprisingly heavy. It has a hole in the top and a place for a picture inside. It was obtained from an antiques show. What is its purpose? The leading theory is that this is a memorial chest, or a small funerary urn for cremation ashes. The hole on top would be for a tea light candle, and the frame is for a photograph of the deceased. While the exact mechanism for storing the ashes isn't clear, the combination of features strongly points to it being a memorial item. A metal ball, about 3 centimeters tall and weighing 128 grams, was found in a backyard in Denmark. A key detail is that it is magnetic. What could this be? The community pointed out a crucial question. Is the ball attracted to a magnet, or is it a magnet itself? If it's the latter, it's likely a neodymium sphere magnet, which can be purchased from specialty stores. If it's the former, it's probably a steel ball bearing from a large piece of machinery. Without that clarification, the debate continues. This object is about 1 inch long, lightweight, and shiny silver. It looks like a miniature metal honey dipper and was found on a regular office floor. What is this tiny machined part? The best guess is that this is part of a valve, possibly for water, air, or hydraulics. It looks like a poppet or plunger that would control the flow of a fluid. One user noted that an extra one of these often comes in a rebuild kit for a pneumatic nail gun. Perhaps there was recent construction in the building. In the front garden of a house in Scotland, there are 2 concrete objects. One is a small shaped block with a hole in it, about 30 centimeters long. The other is a much larger flat slab. What were these for? The leading theory is that the smaller object is a footing for a flagpole, and the larger one is simply a base slab for something else that is now gone, like a bench or a statue. The shape of the smaller block with the central hole is very typical for structures designed to hold a tall, thin pole securely in the ground. A pair of lightweight plastic owls are held together with a thick cord. They were found in a sewing kit in the south of England. Are they related to sewing, or were they just stored there? The leading guess is that these are Victorian-style knitting needle covers or point protectors. You would stick the sharp ends of your knitting needles into the holes in the owls to prevent stitches from slipping off when you're not working on your project. They are both a practical tool and a charming accessory for a knitter. This all-metal object was found with a metal detector. It's about 6 centimeters long and between 0.5 centimeter and 1 centimeter wide. It has a square end and a threaded section. What is this piece of old hardware? The community identified this as the valve stem from an old faucet or tap. The handle of the faucet would attach to the square end, and turning it would raise and lower the threaded section, which would have a washer on the end to control the flow of water. It's a common find when metal detecting near old home sites. Someone found a Google image of this object and is trying to identify it. It's a metal ring with screws in the side that seem to hold something in place. It looks like a heavy-duty industrial part. What is it? A commercial plumber in the comments identified this immediately. It is a megalug pipe flange, a type of mechanical joint restraint used to connect large diameter water pipes, typically made of ductile iron or C900 plastic. The screws tighten wedges against the pipe, preventing it from pulling out of the fitting under high pressure. This metal wheel, about 10 inches across, was found in the backyard of a house in Connecticut that dates back to the early 1700s. It has thin spokes and a simple design. What could it be from? The leading guess is that this wheel is from a toy, or, more likely, an old baby carriage or pram. While the house is from the 1700s, the wheel is likely much newer, perhaps from the late 19th or early 20th century. Its size and delicate construction are not suited for heavy-duty farm equipment. It's a charming find nonetheless. This black plastic mounting contraption is drilled into a wall near a kitchen. The part on the wall is hard plastic, while the loop coming out is more flexible. It's mounted at about chest height. What does it hold? This is a wall mount for a fire extinguisher, but it's missing a retaining strap. The base of the extinguisher would rest on the bottom part, and the flexible loop would go around the main body of the cylinder to hold it securely against the wall. It's a very common piece of safety hardware. On a concrete road, there are 3 distinct lines on either side of a lane, but not in the others. They look like some kind of repair or reinforcement. What is the purpose of these marks? A civil engineer in the comments provided the answer. These are spots where steel dowel pins have been retroactively inserted between the concrete slabs. This is done to help keep the surfaces aligned and prevent one slab from shifting or sinking lower than its neighbor, a common problem known as faulting. It's a clever and effective road repair technique. This object was found on the sidewalk near a car dealership. It's about 1.5 inches thick, made of a plastic or composite material with several precisely sized holes and an attachment point on the bottom. What is this specialized tool? An electrician identified this as a gauge used to confirm the size of hollow aluminum tube conductors found in electrical substations. It would be attached to a long, insulated pole called a hot stick, allowing a worker to safely measure the energized tubes from a distance to ensure the correct fittings are used. This is a small, 1 inch by 1/2 inch metal object with the markings for element 25 and Fe for iron on it. It was found in an apartment parking lot. Why would someone have this, and what is it for? This is an adhesive wheel weight used for balancing car tires. The Fe marking indicates it's made of iron, and the 25 means it weighs 1/4 ounce. Mechanics stick these to the inside of a wheel rim to ensure it spins smoothly at high speeds. It simply fell off a car. An older friend gave the finder a bucket full of these strange objects. They are the size of pecans, lightweight, hollow, and they rattle. They seem to be organic. What are these bizarre xenomorph toenails? These are the seed pods of the water chestnut. Despite the name, it's not related to the common chestnut, but is an aquatic plant. The pods have a distinctive, menacing shape with sharp barbs, which helps them attach to animals and spread. They are often found washed up on the shores of lakes and rivers. This is a rope-like object with 3 silicone bungee cables and clasps at one end, and a numbered black fabric part with a "Do Not Enter" tag at the other. Is it for workouts or something to do with a garage door? This is a door anchor for resistance band workouts. You place the fabric part over the top of a door and close it, with the "Do Not Enter" tag warning people on the other side. The bungee cables then provide anchor points for various exercises. However, the commenter who identified it also warned that they are garbage and don't work well. These plastic clips were found in a bathroom drawer. They look like cable clips, but have posts of differing lengths on the end, which doesn't make sense. The finder vaguely remembers they were for something specific. What are they? This mystery was solved by a fellow shopper. These are clips that come attached to the wire drawers in the Alpha shelving system from the Container Store. Their exact purpose is unclear. They might be used to prevent the drawers from sticking together when stacked for shipping, but they are meant to be removed before use. This metal magnetic object was found in the garbage disposal after it stopped working. The homeowner doesn't recognize it and is wondering what it could be. Any ideas? The community's grim consensus is that this is likely one of the garbage disposal's own blades, or lugs, that is broken off. These small, pivoting metal pieces are what shred the food waste. If one has come loose, it's a sign that the unit has failed and needs to be replaced. This object is a plastic white film with copper adhered to it and some resin on the copper. It has a green tag with consecutive 20s printed on it. It looks like it could be a bank security device. Should the authorities be called? The leading theory is that these are the internal components of an unwrapped battery, likely a lithium-ion pouch cell that has been damaged. The layers of plastic film, copper, anode, and aluminum, cathode, are what make up the battery. It's not a security device, but it could be a fire hazard and should be disposed of properly. This very light, gray metal spike was found on a college lawn. It's about 2 inches long and looks like it broke off of a larger piece of equipment. What could it be from? The best guess is that this is a spike or tine from a lawn aerator. These machines punch holes in the ground to allow air, water, and nutrients to penetrate the soil. The spikes are under a lot of stress and can occasionally snap off, especially if they hit a rock. On what was once a farm, there is a round, concrete, pipe-like structure surrounded by 4 posts. It looks like the foundation for something that is long gone. What stood here? The most likely answer is that this was the base for a windmill-powered water pump. The central concrete pipe is the wellhead, and the 4 posts would have supported the tower for the windmill. This was a very common sight on farms across the country before rural electrification. This silver metal-lined hollow tube with crimps is about 2 inches long. The ends seem to be cut. It was found in a driveway under a Ford Explorer. What could it be from? The best guess is that this is part of a bombilla, which is a special straw used for drinking a traditional South American beverage called mate. The bombilla has a filtered end to strain out the tea leaves. This piece looks like the main shaft of the straw that has broken. Next to a parking garage stairwell, there is a fenced-off platform that seems to serve no purpose. It's just an empty space with a railing around it. Why was this built? The community believes this is a pedestrian safety feature. It's designed to prevent people from exiting the stairwell door and immediately making a sharp right turn into the path of a car. The railing forces them to walk forward into the driving lane, where they can see and be seen by drivers more easily. It's a simple but effective piece of defensive architecture. This is a small plastic object about the size of a thumbnail with a B or M logo on it. It opens up to reveal a small piece of adhesive on the inside. It was found on the floor of a home. What is it? The best guess is that this is a small plastic key or tool that came with an electronic device. These are often included to help open battery compartments or turn small plastic screws without scratching the device's casing. The adhesive part might have been to stick it to the device or manual so it wouldn't get lost. On a building roof, there is a triangular spinner on a metal pipe. It spins at a steady rate, even with very little wind. Another user suggested an anemometer, but that doesn't seem right. What is its purpose? This is almost certainly a bird deterrent. The constant, unpredictable movement and reflective surfaces are designed to scare birds like pigeons and seagulls away, preventing them from roosting on the roof and making a mess. They are a common, humane way to manage pest birds on commercial buildings. This object is shaped like an anchor with a chain loosely wrapped around it. It's all one solid metal piece. It has the name Green TS at the top and a circular engraving at the bottom that looks like it held something. What is it? The community suggests this is a decorative themed thermometer, and it's currently missing the thermometer itself. The long vertical section of the anchor would have had a channel for a glass tube thermometer. The circular part at the bottom likely held a small compass. It's a novelty decorative item with a nautical theme. What was the weirdest object for you? Let me know in the comments and share this to test your friends. If you love uncovering these mysteries, hit like and subscribe. Your support helps us find more curious explorers like you. Stay curious.